Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is our final session of our three-part Social Security series. I'm Christina Clem with the Washington State Office, and it looks like we've got Washingtonians here from across the state. If you want to practice asking questions or stuff, you can drop into the chat at the lower portion of your screen. There's a couple little call out boxes if you want to let us know where you're joining us from today. Would love to see and welcome you. So today we are talking about Social Security. Now, obviously, Social Security is our money. We've earned it by working hard from our first paycheck to our last paycheck. And this year we have quite a milestone. Social Security is celebrating its 90-year anniversary. Now, this is a reminder that Social Security remains a lifeline that impacts people and families across the state and allows them to live a better and more fulfilling life in retirement. In fact, each month here in Washington State, 1.4 million Washingtonians look forward to getting their hard-earned payment every month. Today, we will discuss ways to maximize your Social Security payments, and we are pleased to welcome AARP's Social Security technical expert, Jammie Lyell, who will review strategies that take into account age, income, long-term goals, and more. Prior to joining AARP, Jammie was a technical expert with the Social Security Administration. Within the association, he now spearheads initiatives at AARP aimed at enhancing Social Security for millions of Americans. Jammie, thank you for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
Now, we want this to be an interactive conversation. We want your questions. So if you have a question that you would like answered, please enter your question along with your name and city into the chat box located on the bottom toolbar, the two little call out boxes. And we're going to take them towards the end of today's session. We've got quite a bit to cover. But before we jump in, we've got a poll question that we'd like to ask everyone. So our question for you today is, have you discussed Social Security strategies with a financial advisor or a planner? The questions are yes, no, which don't feel bad. No, a lot of people haven't, or you're planning to here in the future. And we're going to give everyone a couple of seconds to put their answers onto the screen. This is good. This is good. We've got actually more yeses than no we're planning to. So good job to everyone who's kind of had that conversation and taking a look and thinking about the future. That's really the first step. So kudos to the 48% of you who have said yes, they've talked to. We've got 24% that haven't, and we got 28% that are planning to here soon. So good job, everybody. So right now, I'm going to, because, I'm just me here in the Washington State office, and I'm not the expert here. So I'm going to head this over to Jammie. I'm going to hand it off and have him begin today's conversation. Jammie, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let me get my screen up for everyone. Okay, again, hello everyone. I am Jammie Lyell, and I'm here to lead today's discussion. If it is your first time joining us for the series, a little bit quickly about myself, a little bit more context. I do love educating on Social Security at AARP because it gives me the chance to empower our members with the knowledge they need to really navigate their Social Security. Ensure fairness and understanding in Social Security, I believe, is crucial. And being part of AARP allows me to make a positive impact on lives to those who have contributed so much to our society. But with just that, let's get into it. A little bit of a sport reference to get us started. So just like a championship team needs a solid game plan, your retirement needs a winning strategy. So today's we'll be drawing up the X's and O's of Social Security because winging it just isn't a retirement plan. And with that, I would like to get started with the earliest that you can claim Social Security, which is age 62. Age 62, you can start receiving Social Security payments early, but your monthly checks will be reduced. So waiting until your full retirement age, which I will show a chart for that, or beyond, really increases the amount you receive. If you do delay claiming your benefits beyond your full retirement age, your benefit amount increases approximately by 8% per year up until age 70. And if you're wondering, even every month that you wait, you receive more. So it can really pay to wait. You see those drawbacks there on the right, reduced up to about 30% compared to your full retirement age, 66 to 67. I'll make sure to cover that if you're wondering where you might fall. And that reduction is permanent for life. And I will go over the break even stage. I like to use the age of 78 as a good age to where your benefits will match up depending if you claimed later. Next, I would like to get into the full retirement age that you can claim your benefits. You'll receive 100% of those benefits. No reduction for claiming at your full retirement age. Again, I'll go over that break even. Of course, the delayed income is one of the drawbacks. You must wait until full retirement age. You want to consider health and financial considerations. Personal factors really do matter. And if you are planning to apply for Medicare, you want to apply within 3 months, you can reach out to CMS, the Center of Medicare Medicaid Services, and let them know that you have private insurance, that you don't want your Medicare to start at 65. That way that you can prevent having a penalty later in life. And next is delaying until age 70. This is the latest or the top age, if you will, that you can receive and delay until. Waiting past this age doesn't serve any additional benefits. You receive about 124% of benefits by waiting until age 70. Delayed retirement credits, that benefit increases again 8% per year approximately. And it's ideal for those with longevity expectations in your family. Um, of course, the drawback will be that you have to wait until age 70. Fewer payments, so fewer years to collect those benefits. And again, you want to really consider your health, your family, and the financial situation when it comes to collecting and when to start your Social Security retirement. Here is the chart that I recently said that I will share with you. You'll see on the left, this will be your year of birth. And then on the right, you will see the full retirement age, depending on which year you were born. So those that are born on or after 1960, your full retirement age will be 67. And I'm real big on visual learning. So I have a chart here that we can look at on how claiming age can really affect your monthly payment amount. So in this example, we'll assume that this individual claimed at that full retirement age of 66. That full payment amount is $1,900 per month that you see there in the gray column. So if this person had decided to collect payments at age 62, their monthly payment would have been around $1,425. But if they waited until age 70, monthly payment would be over $2,508. Again, deciding when to claim is a personal decision that only you can make. You want to consider the factors, your health, savings, expenses, how the decision can impact your family, and just honestly how you want to live in retirement. How do you envision your retirement? And a case study. This is that case study that I just wanted to go over really quickly. Two fictional characters. So if this is your name, I did not mean to put your name in the presentation. So we have Tia and Andre, who are both eligible for Social Security payments or benefits. Tia decided to start at age 62, which was the earliest possible. But she did receive reduced payments, but was able to enjoy things such as the immediate income, to travel and pursue hobbies. But by the time she reaches age 78, she realized that her lifetime benefits are significantly less than if she had waited. While we have Andre, on the other hand, he waited until age 70 um, to start his benefits, and he receives larger payments due to the delayed retirement credits. Now, although he had to use his savings in an interim, such as a 401k or anything else that he might have saved up across his career, by age 78, he has received higher monthly payments, and his total benefits that he received up until age 78 has surpassed his despite starting later. Um, so with that, I'm gonna go into working duration next. Any questions for me that we might see in the Q&A section? See any questions for me,
Not
Christina?
yet, Jamie. I think we're okay.
Okay, we're gonna go right into working duration and eligibility. I wanted to start with highlighting the Social Security Fairness Act that repealed the windfall elimination or government pension offset, also known as WEP or GPO. This provision previously reduced Social Security payments for individuals who also received a pension from jobs not covered by Social Security. And this is like such as teachers, fighters, police officers. And this new law did impact approximately 3 million current retirees, their spouses, ex-spouses, and surviving spouses. So if you worked in a public sector job or received a pension, you are likely affected by this change. Um, the Social Security Administration did state that they have processed most of these payments out to individuals. So if you have received a lump sum or know someone that have received a lump sum, it could be due to this. And also, if someone wasn't eligible for Social Security payments due to this windfall elimination or government pension offset, it is advised that you could reach back out to the administration and see if now you might be subject to some Social Security payments that you weren't eligible for before. And next, I want to go over understanding Social Security credits. Now, you can earn 4 credits per year, not by the quarter. So they are based off the total wages and self-employment income. So in 2025, that's 1 credit for every $1,810 in covered earnings. So you can make them all in 1 quarter or even in a month. So if you make $7,240, that is equivalent to the 4 credits. So you will have all your credits for that year. And that usually leads me to receive questions about the 10-year rule or the 40 work credit rule. And that's the requirement of 10 years of work or 40 credits for eligibility. And it is different depending on which benefit you are going after. So for retirement, 40 credits needed. Disability, 6 to 20 credits needed, depending on your age. And for survivor payments for spouses, children, or deceased of a deceased person who earned at least 6 credits. Now, earning your way to payments, earning maximum credits, again, maximum 4 credits, and that's been in place since 1978. Ensures a minimum of 10 years of work regardless of your income. And the impact it has is extra credits do not increase your payment amount. Average earnings are over the working years to determine your monthly payment. And I'll go into more detail of that too, of the 35 average work years. Now, before you claim Social Security benefits before your full retirement age, you should know that if you claim early and continue to work, you may be subject to what's known as the Social Security earnings limit. So, in this scenario, your benefits will be reduced by $1 for every $2 you earn above the limit. And then this increases in the months prior to reaching your full retirement age. So, let's say you turn your full retirement age in December. This is 2025 leading up into December. The benefits are reduced by $1 for every $3 you earn above the limit. And note that these limits adjust with inflation yearly. So in 2025, the Social Security earnings limit is 23,400 for people who have not reached full retirement age, and 62,160 for people who will reach full retirement age during the year. However, if you claim Social Security retirement before your full retirement age and keep working, some of these benefit reductions will be returned to you in the form of a higher payment after your full retirement age. So it's about something similar to a credit. You won't receive it in a lump sum, but you will receive it over the course of the time if you claim. So all isn't lost. I want to just briefly go over taxes on Social Security payments since we're on this topic. So taxable up to 85% of payments may be taxed depending on the combined income. So for individual filers, 24 to 34,000, up to 50% of your payments may be taxed. And if you're above that 34,000, up to 85% of payments may be taxed. A little bit different for joint filers, 32 to 44,000, 50%, and at above 44,000, up to 85% of payments may be taxed. You can have the option of withhold these federal taxes from your payments through the Social Security Administration. You can get the voluntary tax withholding form from the irs.gov website. And I would like to highlight that Washington State is not a state that taxes Social Security payments at the state level. Any questions for me, Christina, before I move into payment limits?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have a question from Wanda. Wanda asked, if I claim Social Security based on my spouse's payment, does it automatically show half his payment amount when I apply?
So it state that the last part. Claiming spousal
Um,
payments.
yeah, does it automatically show half his payment amount when I apply? So I think maybe will she know
Okay.
in advance what the
Amount would be.
my payment might be? Yeah.
Well, when you Social Security will let you know once they do the calculations of that work record for those spousal payments. Um, that when you claim, it will depend on the age that you claim. If you claim spousal payments early, such as age 62, that can lead to a reduction in what you receive. Also, depending on when your spouse originally did claim, if he claimed at full retirement age or not, that will determine how much in that formula. Um, but Social Security will basically be able to give you the best estimate for what you'll receive. But AARP does actually have a Social Security calculator that you can utilize as well to get an estimate. And SSA.gov has one as well.
That's great. Question about the term year. When you use the term year, is that a true calendar year or based on the date you started Social Security collection?
I'm trying to find the context of that question for
I
year.
think it was when you're talking about credits, maybe.
Oh, let's go back. Credits.
So yeah, like the 10 years
Maybe.
of
Okay. And the question was that working years or when you claim?
um I think it was, is it a true calendar, is it based on a true calendar year or is it based on the date you started Social Security?
Hmm. Well, this 10-year rule applies to being eligible for Social Security. So that'll be 10 years of work from when you started working. Um,
Okay.
as far as the other year, maybe we can get a follow-up question in regards to that to clarify that question. I can come back to it. That's fine.
Karen did say, or sorry, Kaylee, she said if you apply mid-year, do your earnings prior to that apply to earning credit? So if you worked
Yes.
half a year, okay,
Yes. Yep. So if you work those credits and you only worked half a year, you earned your credits in that half or that month. That does apply. Social Security also receives that income information directly from the IRS.
okay. Question from Gail. Do the taxes on Social Security apply to only earned income from employment, or does it apply to income from like withdrawing from IRAs or 401ks and savings?
Right. Your 401k and everything like that will not apply. This is going to be earned income, self-employed income, like normal work, W-2, that type of thing.
Great.
Can I make
Um,
one more and then we can go to the next section
let's see.
if we have one more?
Yeah. If a person is not working for the 3 years prior to claiming Social Security, will their Social Security benefits still go up to 8% per year simply because they are delaying starting their Social Security?
Great question. And yes, you are absolutely right. So each year, each month you wait, You're getting those delayed retirement credits, which will be boosting what you would receive once you do clean.
Great. We've got a couple more, but I'll hold them. Why don't we do it? Because we've got
Awesome.
I know we got more info.
Yeah. Right. So next, I will be going into payment limits. One thing to keep in mind when you're estimating the amount you'll receive from Social Security is the cost of living adjustment, or also known as COLA, COLA. Each year, the amount you receive from Social Security will be adjusted to account for inflation. The 2025 cost of living adjustment, COLA, is 22.5%. Sorry, 2.5%. That works out about $50 monthly in a raise for your average Social Security retirement payment. Additionally, it is important to consider that currently there's a wage cap on taxed earnings. So in 2025, that means that workers only pay FICA taxes on the first 176,100 of their income that you see here on the slide. If you have more than one job, your employers are required to withhold FICA taxes. So if you happen to go over this amount, you will be seeking a refund from your employers for going past this wage cap for 2024, 2025. And understanding this maximum Social Security payment, the maximum Social Security retirement payment varies based on the age you retire that we previously discovered and went over. It depends on your average income over 35 years, cost of living adjustment, and other factors. I get this question a lot, that if you work 35 years and one of your later years in your career is higher than when you might have had your first job as a lifeguard or something like that, then Social Security will knock off your lower paid year and replace it with the higher paid year. So retirement age versus the maximum payment. So if you retire at full retirement age in 2025, the maximum payment you could receive would be $4,018. Retirement age 62 in 2025, maximum benefit of $2,831. And then opting for that age 70 this year would yield a maximum benefit of 5,108. That is the maximum payment. That means you would go past the 35 years, you work the 35 years, meet the wage cap each year, and delay until 70. And calculating your maximum payments, again, it varies depending on your birth year, 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. Claiming payments at 62 means less money. This is a summary of what we went over already. Retiring at 70 maximizes those payments. Working 35 years to receive the highest payout, you want to work for at least that 35 years. And earnings during these years impact your payments. And each year, the Social Security Administration sets a limit on earnings subject to the Social Security taxes. Again, in 2025, that is $176,100. So once you surpass this amount, then you will no longer be paying FICA taxes for that year. Again, delaying retirement to age 70, maximum taxable earnings for at least 35 years, and filling in those earning gaps to increase the income to optimize payments is the way to maximize your Social Security. And we had questions about estimating. So some other ways you can estimate your Social Security payment. You can open up a My SSA account at login.gov. Complete and mail the SSA 7004 form. You can call Social Security Administration. This is that 1-800 number, 1-800-772-1213. And they actually still mail those statements to you if you're over the age of 60 and you do not have a My SSA account. And then instead of the future of Social Security that you might have seen in the news, congressional action is needed to secure Social Security. And AARP is fighting to protect your Social Security payments because you've earned it. And Congress does have several options to address the program's long-term physical challenges. For example, as you see on the screen, here are 5 potential solutions to make sure that Social Security can pay out 100% of earned payments for everyone who is eligible for generations to come. And you can learn more with free resources listed here: the Council for Economic Education and the American Academy of Actuaries. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I'm ready to answer any questions you may have, any Social Security questions you may have.
That's good because we have some.
Yes.
Um, So, Jamie, I'm going to start with a question that I think is on a lot of folks' minds because it might be a little confusing. The last budget bill that just passed, there was information about exempting taxes on Social Security. Can you kind of give us a what you know um, synopsis of that or provide any additional information on that question?
Yeah. So the bill that passed that was the senior tax credit, the 6,000, that was passed. It's not a direct reflection on the Social Security for that senior tax credit for the individuals age 65 and older, or 12,000 for qualifying couples. Um, that will reduce your taxes directly, but it won't really reduce your Social Security taxes separately. They are two different things, since one is FICA taxes and one is the tax credit you receive when you file your taxes. So it is different. I would like to also highlight I'm not a tax professional. So if you want more details in regards to that, definitely reach out to your tax professional or your CPA.
Thanks.
Yes.
Um, we've got a question in here. If my wife and I claim together as a married couple, would her benefit be based on her earnings or half of mine if
That
half of mine is higher?
that is a great question and a commonly asked question. So Social Security, when you apply for Social Security retirement and spousal payments, they will take the higher of the two, and that's what they would give you. So if the spousal payment at 50% of yours is higher than what you would receive on her own work record, Social Security will give her that. Or vice versa. If hers is higher versus her spousal payment, then Social Security will give her her own payment. But they won't combine the two. They'll just give you which one is higher, so you cannot double dip.
Good to know. A question about survivor's benefits. If I claim survivor's benefits on my husband's account and he claimed at his full retirement age, 65 years, 2 months, will I get 100% of his payment even if I have not reached full retirement age, which is 67? This question is from Karen.
Can you state that last two
Yeah.
sentences for me?
Um, so he claimed at his full retirement age.
Yep.
If she claims survivor benefits, but she's under full retirement age, will she get 100% of his payment, or will that be reduced because she has not reached full retirement age?
That is a great question. So yes, when you claim as a surviving spouse, that will determine how much you will receive, if it's a reduction or not. So you want to pay attention to your full retirement age so you can receive the most that you can. Survivor payments is a little different than spousal payments. So you could possibly receive survivor payments now if you know that yours is going to be higher, then switch to your own. That is a strategy that you could possibly utilize. You want to pay attention to which works best for your situation.
Okay. A question again about survivor's benefits. I claimed survivor's benefits and retired at 62 years old. I am now 71. Should I claim my own Social Security now? That's from Janet.
I wish you could see that. Can you repeat that for me, please,
Yeah,
Christina?
so she's currently receiving survivor benefits.
Yes.
She retired at 62, still receiving survivor benefits. She's
Okay.
now 71. Should she
Mm.
claim for her own Social Security benefits?
That's a great question. I wouldn't give advice on which one you should do, but what might actually benefit you would be to look at reach out to Social Security, put in a claim for your own Social Security retirement, and then they will be able to calculate which one would be higher, and that's the one that you would receive. So it's very important to look at that as a possible option since you have that available to you.
Great. Um, I think that's got that. Da, da, da. Um, is Social Security stopping all paper checks in September or October 2025?
Social Security has been leaning towards doing more direct deposits, leaning away from the paper checks to increase protection. I can't state exactly if that's when they're going to stop, but I know that has been a topic of discussion.
Cool. Um, can you review Social Security taxes for joint filers for income above 44,000? Will Social Security automatically withdraw the taxes?
That is a great question. So Social Security will not automatically withdraw the taxes. You can do a voluntary tax form and send that to Social Security, so that way you can tell them to withhold those taxes. But I will state that they do receive the information from the IRS directly. So even though they will be taxed, you would most likely have to deal with that at tax time.
Great. Um, question. You had mentioned the windfall. Um, and how would someone know who like may not already be getting Social Security if they qualify? Because you said they kind of already processed the payment, but if you think you are, you can check in. I would imagine a lot of people go, I hope, even though I don't think. What might be some indicators that you might qualify for the windfall payment?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the type of job you might have had, that public service job, such as a teacher, firefighter, a police officer, or if you were just very savvy in what was coming out of your check every 2 weeks, and you noticed that you weren't paying into Social Security, or something like that, that would be an indicator to check. But it doesn't hurt to just reach out and check to see if you're entitled. So I would, if you feel like you might be entitled, the worst they can do is say no. That's not
Great.
always the worst thing.
I'm going to kind of jump back to the top. We talked about, early claiming at 62, and then, as you kind of postpone, you increase it. But for some people, uh 62 is kind of the year. Could you maybe talk about what might be some instances where early claiming might be beneficial rather than like waiting until full retirement age or 70 when you can maximize the Social Security benefit?
Yeah, scenarios or examples where 62 might make the better option for some individuals will be if you need that immediate income.
Hmm.
You don't have a lot of passive income or investments or very large cushion in your 401k, that might be a factor. Also, your health. You want to consider your health, your life expectancy, the longevity in your family. If you expect to live a long life well past 62, you might want to wait. But if you don't expect, or whatever your situation may be, then 62 might be a better factor for you. And also, when it comes to claiming with your spouse, what strategy might work best,
Mm.
um, might determine if you want to claim at 62 or not. I do want to highlight again, going back to the paper check. I just wanted to make sure I double check policy at the same time. So Social Security did announce September 30th of this year, they will no longer issue paper checks. But in rare cases, such as due to a disability, living in a remote location, or another type of hardship, you can apply for a waiver through the US Treasury to make sure that you can still receive a paper check.
Good to know. Um, Overall question, Jamie, what's the biggest mistake people make when deciding to claim Social Security?
The biggest mistake I would say is just not doing enough research on your own of how it can affect your situation. Just claiming because you can claim, but not really looking at the numbers and what you really want to have a comfortable retirement. Because you want to be comfortable, but you also want to just make sure it fits your situation the best way.
Here's something that being an AARP employee for 21 years, I'm probably better at than other folks. How often should you revisit your Social Security strategy?
Hmm, that's a great question. Uh, as you get closer to retirement, or closer to start thinking about Social Security. When I say that, I think a good idea would be to start thinking about it in your 40s, and then from 40, maybe every 10 years, and as you get closer, almost every 2 years, 3 years, as you get closer to 62. It is very important to revisit that with your financial planner as you go into retirement. And if you don't have a financial planner, once, let's say you're, for example, say you're 60, and Social Security is around the corner. It doesn't hurt to check every year or every other year, just so you just know what number you're working with. You know what retirement will be.
Great. Um, Rebecca asked for kind of a clarification on the windfall.
Yes,
She was a teacher and
yes.
didn't contribute into Social Security for a number of years. Um, would would that be something that she might qualify for, or you can maybe give us a little more information about that circumstance?
Yeah, so if you didn't contribute into it, there might be a chance that you could still be eligible. But you want to just really reach out without, of course, me being able to see your work record and things of that nature. Um, I wouldn't be able to give you a clear answer, but I would say the best is to reach out to the Social Security Administration because that Social Security Fairness Act that was passed this year did apply to teachers.
Great. And so is that something that Rebecca could call Social Security and ask for?
Yes, so you can set up a My SSA account. I believe that is probably the most convenient way to get answers to your question. You can reach out to the Social Security Administration as well. So a representative that can see your information can give you a very clear answer.
It's a good point. I know some people, may not have a My SSA account, but it's a very convenient way to go in and one, look at how long you've been working because there's an entire list of all the years you've been working and how much you contributed each year. It's kind of interesting, but also I think a good way to kind of monitor where we're at. Um, we still have some good questions in the chat, but we are almost out of time, folks. We've just got a few minutes left. I'm going to do one more question. We got a question from Catherine. Is it correct that you can apply for Social Security up to 4 months before your full retirement age, or the age that you are planning to start, or the age that you're planning to start your Social Security?
And Catherine sounds like a planner just like me. So, Catherine, yes, that is correct. You can apply for benefits or your Social Security up to 4 months before you want them to start. Just indicate when you want them to start. And remember that Social Security does pay a month behind in a sense. So, let's say if your payment is due in July, you most likely receive that in August. So, just be mindful of that.
Good to know. Planning ahead. Um, well, I have to say thank you so much, everyone. This went so fast because we had so many great questions. So on behalf of AARP, I want to thank everyone for taking part in today's discussion. We have had two previous sessions of this, one in May and one in June. And so if you've missed our previous sessions, they are recorded and they're available on AARP's YouTube channel. And I think behind the scenes, my colleague Bruce is doing all the cool technical stuff. I think he's going to drop that into the chat so you can see those. And thank you all so much for participating. If we weren't able to get to your question, never fear. AARP has a Your Questions Answered page, and that is at answers.aarp.org. We're going to drop that also in the chat, or you can actually send an email. And I think, Jammie, that email goes to you, right? So you've got to have a big inbox. The email address is ssqa@aarp.org. So Social Security questions answered. So ssqa@aarp.org can get you some of those questions answered that we might not have been able to get to today. Also, if you'd like to learn more about AARP's efforts to protect and strengthen Social Security, you can visit us online at aarp.org/Social Security. And heads up, in our 90 next month is our 90-year anniversary of Social Security. We will be holding some live events at a few places across the state. And I believe if you go to the aarp.org/Social Security, you can also see more information. Geez, I need more coffee. More information about our in-person events. We are having one in Yakima. We're having one in Spokane. We're having one in North Seattle area, Bothell, and we're having another one at Town Hall in Seattle proper. And then the Friday before, because we like to party at Social Security, we're actually going to have a dance in South Seattle area. So if you're in those areas and want to come on out, you can take a look at aarp.org/Social Security, and you can find where our events are happening and can register to attend. So I just want to say thank you again. Thank you, Jammie. Jammie's joining us from all the way across the country in Washington, D.C. So we appreciate you joining us today. And for all of those of you on the webinar, thank you so much for spending part of your morning today. We know you have several ways to spend a day, and we appreciate that you spend a little bit of it with us. So with that, I want to say thank you so much and have a great day.